versus Enigma. What a game that was. Let's break down third game of the series, Fog Cap Grand. That was madness.
Yeah, it really was. It was crazy, right? Because there wasn't that many kills like throughout the mid-game, but they were just team fighting over and over. But you have this Omni Knight. You can't kill anyone over there. On the other side, you have this Enigma, and you can't do anything there either. And I don't know. They came out on top because those double black holes in those Roche fights.
Yep. I know that someone was shaking in his boots backstage, and it was the person that we're going to talk to right now. Could you please play in William Millett? Hello.
What up?
Hello.
How have you been dealing with the stress of being a coach, Will?
Dude, we just can't have normal games. I'm so sorry for everybody that has to stay up till 1 a.m. for our 70-minute games back to back, and then we have this.
Yeah,
I know it's not easy being a Liquid fan right now.
Is it easy being a Liquid coach?
No, it's so difficult. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm having a lot of fun. It's better to feel this way than nothing, right?
And your guys are having a lot of fun too.
Oh yeah, for sure they are. I mean, every win feels like a TI win.
You say that right now when you're like, oh, yeah, it's great, we won, I'm having a lot of fun in that stress. But in the moment when you're over there, you're literally going, we lost, I'm dying, I hate this, I hate every moment of this.
You kind of have to. I don't know, I like to live through the emotions as much as I can.
All right, talk to us about that series though, because we kind of didn't think you guys were going to win, especially the third game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ramses is just staring at me and he's waving now because he told me we won 100% and he's like, don't worry about it.
He was right.
Yeah. I mean, I think this series was really hard for us.
Yes.
I think TNC is such a creative team. It's so hard to draft for them. We practiced a lot. We talked endlessly, probably more than any other series we played, because all the bans felt so difficult against this team. It's well, if you give them this hero, they play around this style. If you give them Omni, they're going to slaughter. There's just so many different ways that they can balance their draft that it felt really difficult to prepare for.
You did it though. It worked. So the preparation paid off. Grant, I'm sure you have some questions for Will as well.
Yeah, I don't got anything for you, Blitz. Congratulations. No, I'm just kidding. So when you were drafting, these bans and stuff come out, were you surprised you got that late of an Enigma versus the heroes they had? The Slark, the Omni were already picked?
Yeah, especially because they banned the Rubik themselves. Then it just felt like it was the dream setup game. But the way that Enigma works as a hero is buybacks are still really good against you. That's what we learned, especially I think whenever you have these high cooldown heroes, the way that the Dota meta setup is you can just buy back and you can nullify this advantage. Yeah. TNC easily could have won that game despite having no cancels.
They almost did.
Yeah, it was so close.
It was just a fun game to watch. I think we all just had a blast watching that one.
I think everybody in the audience had a blast watching that one too. Would you give, I don't think I need to ask this. Who do you give the MVP to for your team?
I'm going to give it to Insania. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because we did not think we'd be here. We thought we were going to get dead last at this tournament. So when we won that game, as soon as he came out, he said, Tommy, call your girlfriend. I'm going to buy her the first flight out. He brings her out here on his own dime. This is a brotherhood. I love it so much. Tommy had so much to play for. His girlfriend's in the crowd. So Insania is definitely the MVP.
Damn.
That was a way better answer than I was thinking. I mean, do we even want to see the Twitch votes? I do not, because they didn't know this.
No,
I don't think we're going to see that. It is Insania that won the MVP. Thank you so much, Will. I'm going to let you go. And if you could leave your microphone behind as well, please. Thank you. Bye, Will. Team Liquid, move forward. And they get the pleasure to playing again tomorrow morning. Their opponent, by the way, Alliance.
Fun.
The rivals from Europe. Yeah. Oh. Grant, I'm gonna let you hit that one. I hear an applause. Oh, there he is. He's holding something. He's holding two things, actually.
Yeah. I'm glad he finally found friends.
Yeah.
That's good.
Getting friends is the first step to getting out of the sad mode.
Not being sad, exactly.
Yeah. Smooth.
He's struggling with the steps a little bit there, though.
All right. I think Panda got promoted to Magician's Assistant.
Looks like it. Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
Did we put an age warning at the door, by the way?
Oh my God.
Excuse me. Oh, he wasn't gonna throw those.
Oh my God.
I could make a very inappropriate joke right now. But I won't. It's a balloon! I kind of feel like it's gonna pop.
Oh my.
That was fun.
What? No, don't do it, dude.
Oh, God, he's going to get inside of it.
Don't do it. You've got so much to live for.
Oh.
Get in there.
What?
Oh my.
Oh, dear God. Save him, Panda! What? He's gonna run out of air. Yeah, I think so too, Panda. Are you ready to give mouth to mouth?
Whoa!
Oh, excuse. I do hope there was an age warning on the stream.
Oh, God.
Yes, yes.
He's wearing a skirt. All right, guys. Thank you for that performance. We're gonna have a quick break, but when we're back, it is time for EG and IG. Grant, give that man his clothes back. Although I might take those shoes because they look real nice. We'll be back soon.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
Polaroid. 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 Polaroid.
All right.
Polaroid.
Don't stop.
Polaroid.
Watch this.
Polaroid.
Come on, boy.
Polaroid. 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 Polaroid.
the day, and it is going to be an absolute banger. But we got to do one thing before we get it started. We got to welcome our two panels that are going to be joining Grant on the couch.
Oh.
Folks, make some noise for Sin and Kyle! Look at these handsome devils. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Sin. Nice to see you, Sin. Really nice to see you, Sin. Hey, Kyle. Let's jump right into this one. I'm actually feeling a little bit emotional right now. Today's my 1 year anniversary in Dota, Kyle.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's exactly 1 year since my first event. And I actually wanted to do something special to commemorate forever the fact that you welcomed me so much in the Dota community. You're one of the best friends I've ever had. You remember when I called you about a month ago?
Sure.
And I told you that I might be doing something. And then I was alone for a few days in Amsterdam. Kyle, I will forever have a place for you in my heart. I did it, Kyle. I did it. Do you like it?
Love it.
Because it's not the whole thing.
Why?
Kyle. love you. I really do. I love you.
I love you too, Rich.
But not as much as I love this next matchup, IG versus EG. And both of these teams have had a fantastic run thus far in the tournament, but they've all run into the brick wall that is Vici. So it's a little bit difficult to really start to pick apart who we think will come out on top. Sind, who do you think has the upper hand in this matchup, IG or EG?
Really hard to say, actually. I think today IG against Beast Coast, they looked not completely clean, and EG in their series against Vici definitely had plenty of room for improvement as well. So I guess my gut says IG still, slightly, but I think a 2-1 series is very, very likely.
I'd pretty much agree with that. I mean, EG, I thought were one of the top 3 teams here, but after they got so dismantled by Vici gaming, it's like, how good is Vici and how bad is EG? Really is the question, right?
I mean, I think EG might just get clowned on 2-0. I feel like their drafts have been pretty uninspired thus far. And IG's hot. They just took down Beast Coast. I thought they played clean. They made a couple errors here and there, but I think they're just going to play too fast. If EG wants to win, they're going to need to do something significantly just better than what they've shown thus far.
Yeah, I've got a question. Would you guys rather be EG, who hasn't played today, or would you rather have had a warm-up game, maybe where you looked shaky?
I don't know. I think the bigger question is how much has it impacted their mentality that they showed up when they thought game 2 was going to end and it was going to be a 2-0, and then it dragged out, and then they had this marathon game. The players have basically been here ready to play for 2 hours. I don't know, for IG and EG, I'm guessing IG got a little bit of rest. They're kind of both reset anyway because it's been so long. So I don't know if it really matters. Usually we talk about it when it's back-to-back matches, right? It's like the final day. If you've played the best of 3 and then you go into the best of 5, there can be some warm-up factor here. I don't think.
So you don't think they're itching to play?
No, I'd say it's a disadvantage. You have to wake up too early. It's like so many hours. You're popping a lot of caffeine early on in the day. Then you've got to just reset, have a new, then hit a new emotional high later. It's much more difficult. EG, I know, are in their comfort zone. They hate morning matches. This is what they prefer. Get to sleep in late, eat some lunch, come in, play some dotes.
And they also know, right, they're coming in and they're playing one series. There aren't any additional factors there. I think it's definitely important to keep in mind, but I want to go back to the idea of how good is Vici, right? We keep coming back to that, and it's so hard to figure it out because Vici has looked to be in a league maybe of their own. It's just them in secret right now that are really starting to chart out that place of real estate in this tournament. How hard do you think it is to draw in comparison? I mean, we look at IG right now, and we can talk about that Beast Coast matchup. Yeah. Beast Coast has played against a lot of the field. They've had a much longer road, in the lower bracket longer, so you can start to try to make those comparisons. But when you look at EG right now, and you're comparing them to Vici, where do you even start?
I think the first thing, or the thing Kyle just mentioned, is really important. It's about creativity in draft. It's been one of the talking points about this EG roster for a very long time. That when they go into tournaments, they have this set hero pool, and they're not as able to adapt on the fly as some of the other teams that they are expecting or hoping to beat to get at least a top 3 finish, if not goes to the grand finals, right? When you go this deep, you can't keep playing the same strategy over and over unless it's flat out broken and you have enough heroes in that first phase that nobody can ban you out. And so far, EG hasn't really seemed to have that X factor that's missing all the way.
They still keep getting top 3, right? But they don't keep winning. So
what do you mean still getting top 3? They weren't top 3 at the last one.
Getting top 4, at these majors.
They're getting good placements. Let's talk about what that strategy is. What are we really expecting from them? One of the big talking points was obviously Enchantress as a hero. What else are you looking at, Kyle? Slark probably as well.
I mean, I hope we don't see a Slark. I just want to see someone on a playmaker. Yesterday they tried this that Invoker Beastmaster lineup, but it was just it was one-dimensional. They were read like a book by Vici. They were going to make these moves with smokes around the 10-12 minute mark. They did. They were out team fought, and then they just sort of ran out of gas. I just want something that is more similar to honestly what Liquid just ran, where you have more of these mid-game heroes like Razor, Lesh, Timber. They all scale. They can all fight early. It allows them to play independently, but you just get to play some Dota. They haven't even looked like they've had a shot to in those games against Vici.
And now I want to take a deeper look at their opponents, talk a little bit about IG, but before we discuss them, let's actually hear what they had to say before this matchup.
I think we are quite confident and then against EG, so it's not a big problem for us to against them. I think we just try to play our best. So yeah, I think everything will be fine. About EG, I think EG is a strong team, so I think they are quite confident also, right? Like against us, so we just try to play like our best as well. They will just try their best as well, see who will be the better team today. Yeah, it won't be like a 3-match. I think it's pretty tired, so I hope it's 2-match games. Yeah.
All right, folks, you get to actually hear it from IG, and we have plenty more to talk about, but luckily, we're getting very close to the draft to start off this final series of the day. We're gonna hop to a break, but once we get back, we're gonna be getting into the draft. But we only got spots for one more in this tournament. Folks, we are about ready to welcome our two squads to the stage. Make some noise for IG and EG. Talked about these two squads at length. Both of them have looked phenomenal in this tournament. The question is, how are they going to stack up against each other in this elimination series here up on the main stage? As they get into their spots too, we can talk about it just a little bit more. I feel like we did get an opportunity to talk quite a bit about EG. Let's take a deeper dive into IG. I think one of the things that you guys did do pretty well was point out some of the things that you felt maybe was lacking on the side of EG. Do you feel like there are any glaring weaknesses right now in your mind, Sin, for IG?
I would say today, the way they used Aegis in general across both games, maybe a little bit of overconfidence or cockiness almost. Could be the opponent that they played against setting a little bit of a trap, or it seems like we talked about in that series, it seems like Beast Coast has this ability to take good team fights when they're behind, so you know, you got to give credit where it's due as well. Outside of that, you just got to say for IG, in this playoff so far, they were the only team that really held up against Vici Gaming very well. Close fight, and that's obviously a good showing, considering how highly we speak of VG right now. So yeah, apart from that, I don't really have too many concerns.
I think talking about the cockiness, right? We keep going back to one player always, Emo, right? Like they live and die on his cocky, and it's not a bad thing to be cocky, right? Like to believe in yourself, but sometimes it can be the death of you. Kyle, you ever play with like any super cocky players? You don't have to name them, but
my 4 or 5 years in the North American region, I can't think of any. No, everyone's pretty reasonable there. You know, no
one thinks they're good or anything. Yeah. Oh. Hey.
Yeah, we're getting straight into this one. We can talk just a little bit more. I mean, you talk about Emo being one of the players that you are going to put that spotlight on. On the side of EG, Kyle, who are you looking at?
On EG?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Crit, but he's been performing with or without any spotlight. I can trust him to pretty much pop off. Grant was saying he's effectively the best 4 in the world. He's definitely got an argument. I'm really looking at Abed and Arteezy. I think one of these two guys has got to be more aggressive in the mid game and sort of take control. EG's been really hesitant to cross the river, and I think that that's necessary if they're going to keep trying to play all 3 lanes at once. Again, to quote Grant, it's like, I just don't get it, man. They lose the lanes, then they just kind of feed until they lose.
Feed.
Yeah, they just farm for 30 minutes and feed, and I want to see them actually take it to them.
And it's tough, right? Because we talked about their drafts being quote-unquote stale. Like, you kind of know what they're going to do. Like, when you got that Beastmaster Invoker, you know they're going to want to roam around. And the ward vision they had in that game was so impressive. I think EG only had 5 kills by the 20-minute mark. It was like 17 to 5. Like, I don't know. You got to get something done on the map.
Yeah, I like the bans from EG. You got to get rid of Wisp against IG. You just have to. I felt like Beast Coast probably should have learned that lesson, but EG, of course, got to watch that series. They should know by now.
So who do you give now? Do you give Lich or Doom? Because I think you're going to lose either of them. Do you leave both and take a trade, or...
What about Omni? You don't think he's up there with them? I think Omni might.
Yeah, Omni's there too. Okay, they're going to ban the Doom. So they're giving Omni or Lich?
They banned Rubik on IG. I feel like this is to set up for the Omni Night. It just seems like one of the best heroes in the tournament.
Yeah, and if it's EG from 2 days ago, you Lich Slark here, right?
Please
Are
don't.
they?
Please. God.
I mean, what do you want to see then?
I mean, I imagine
you know the players.
I think Razor's a possibility, especially since they just saw Liquid beat an Omni Night with it. EG love that. I mean, well, it's pretty much every team likes to steal ideas from each other. It's one of those relationships I know they understand. Playing against them as much as like 2-3 years ago, back in a similar meta when this Omni was first pickable, Razor was one of the top choices. OD is another possibility.
We forgot. Yeah, the tree. We kind of did forget about the tree a little bit after, that first series.
Liquid's made it look like the best support hero. Keep talking about the Lich and the Disruptor, but Treant significantly stronger in lane and just provides way more map control, it feels, because you have a nuke from the trees that kills a creep wave.
I'm not completely sold on how good this hero is against Omni Knight as a concept, though. Omni Knight lineups like to group up and take the fight, where Treant's contribution is that overgrowth, but you can dispel the overgrowth with Omni Knight. If the target is already affected by Heavenly Grace, the roots are super short. You naturally give sustain against all these slows so you can outlast. I think the OD is a much better solution for Omni than the Treant is.
But I think that they're great.
It's a good pairing.
We saw this yesterday. I think it was IG running it. Or was it Vici against EG? Either way, it was the Treant and the OD, and it was Ori who he actually didn't die in that series, by the way. A big part of that was because OD, he went for the full damage build and just spammed tree armor on him, and he was just a turret, and nothing EG could touch him.
Please scoop it up. I mean, more than likely, we're going to see their 5-2, you think, since they already see, you got the tree, you got the OD. It's just hard not to pick Lich, but Lich is honestly not that great versus Treant, right? Treant, 90 damage, level 1, pretty damn good.
It's not that good against OD either. I think you take advantage of the information you've been given now and you pick a hero that's good against OD in the game. All right, you don't. You just pick Lich.
Sorry.
I guess not. I was thinking some of the heroes that we've seen played against this OD, we've seen Queen of Pain. I would not pick that here this early. Puck has had a decent success against OD in lane as well as in the game, having a stun and a silence. Batrider was a possibility.
So Limp's mid silencer absolutely wrecked.
Silencer could have been an option. Yeah. But yeah, now that we talk about it like that, there's quite a few options. So you don't have to choose any of them yet. As long as you can see that many solutions to the OD, I don't know if IG play all of those, but they can maybe grab one of them here on the third or fourth pick.
My only concern with EG's lineup right now is it's a very passive support, and it's a very passive mid. I know Artur can play the OD if necessary, but I'm just really hoping EG pick a playmaker, and specifically one for someone that isn't Ramses, because I feel like he gets thrown to the wolves a lot of the time. We saw in that Puck game yesterday, He's just kind of trying to make things happen by himself. His teammate, his other cores are Arc Ward and Slark. It's just near impossible.
Yeah, what other like playmaking heroes does Abed play besides like that Quaswex Invoker, right? Because you think about his heroes, and he doesn't like play that many. So, because we've seen Arteezy plays this OD actually a lot of the time. I don't know if there is another hero like you'd think about picking against this, but I don't know.
Yeah, as far as just hardcore tempo goes out in the mid lane, there's just not really that many heroes that get played mid now in general that play super fast in terms of being the active hero around the map. Puck comes to mind. You don't want to pick Puck with OD. I feel like that's setting yourself up for failure. Even if you ban out the Nyx, who's good against both heroes, there's going to be other problems.
Knowing EG, I wouldn't be surprised to see a third pick Drow. I'd say fourth, but yesterday they got trapped. They third picked Avenge, and then Vici kind of giggled and just took Drow and beat him handily. So
it's a fair point as well, because I think Drow is actually pretty good against what EG have here. Drow playing from a distance against Treant.
Natural Manta buyer.
Buys Manta, has a silence against OD, has the protection of Omni. It would actually be a nice... I think it's a good ban, to be honest.
I also really like Drow against Lich because the Frost Armor prevents physical damage from attacks, but not physical damage from spells. So the volley, as we saw in that game that Liquid played, like just kills supports. Rich, you doing all right over there?
Yeah, I was actually just trying to read all the signs. It's like IRL chat. Really enjoying that there. Gah!
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Now we do what everybody in Dota does, and we just let Sin talk.
But what if I don't?
I lose my job.
Now, the Monkey King ban, you talked about it, right? Fly, he's known for this hero, and we've seen great success. We talked about Matumba Man playing it. Just pick it. I'll do shit with it. I think it's the exact same. I like the ban.
I think Monkey King is one of the heroes that benefits a lot from playing around Omni Knight. A lot of the time, Monkey is in this awkward limbo where he kind of wants to go in, kind of doesn't. You get a lot of confidence if you have both Omni and Lich protecting you, but so do another 50 heroes. So you kind of got to pick your poison here, and targeting a player like this I think is fine. But it's also, there has to be some information here. Like EG are definitely thinking something specific with these bans. You banned Nyx and Monkey King. Nyx is not a very popular hero. I don't think it warrants a Nyx pick just countering OD only.
You don't think?
So there has to be something in the pipes here. It's not really an OD counter in the same way that it used to be, in my opinion. It's not, now that it's based on mana pool rather than int, I don't think Nyx counters the hero nearly as hard any longer.
That's a cool pick, because if you were going to get Drowed by IG, Wyvern's one of the best heroes against her.
Yeah.
And I think that this is just also necessary for the way EG likes to play Dota. I'm much more confident where they can just pop Fly on the dead lane, on a Wyvern, or Crit. I believe it's actually Crit who plays it primarily for them. But either way, it's just wave clear, and it's more team fight. Specifically BKB piercing team fight, which EG sometimes lacks in their drafts.
Now you got two of them.
Yep.
Batrider is starting to look really good right now.
Yeah, for IG, I agree.
Yeah, that hero looks dirty, but I don't know how much IG really play it. I think JT definitely plays it, but then you have a weird Omni Knight position in the game, so you would have to put it on more than likely Kaka and play the Lich on Ollie. They're gonna go Shadow Shaman, all right. I would have never caught that one.
Kaka, probably his most famous hero like a year or two ago. He was an absolute monster on that hero.
Yep. I was about to say I like the hero like Silencer perhaps, but then you're left with like all team fight, no catch. This gives you
everything.
Two things that IG, and really the whole Chinese meta seems to revolve around, which is having an offlaner or a support with a cleanse, like some hard save, and then also a hex mechanic. So you have that combo of being able to break your opponent's initiation and have plenty of your own. The Timber, EG taking a page out of the Liquid book. Neither support really deal with the Timber stuff, but there are still two heroes remaining for IG, so.
I think the logic from EG here was, okay, if you guys are picking Shadow Shaman after you have Omni, you want to start 5-manning and fighting at towers. So we're going to pick a wall, and that wall has 3 defensive heroes protecting it, Wyvern, OD, and Treant. Killing the Timbersaw is going to be really hard. I still think Batrider looks absolutely incredible this game.
For IG, you're...
But how do you place your heroes then? Do you play a core Shaman? Do you place the Omni Knight as a core instead of, or as a different core than 3? I think at this point, maybe EG feels safe that they can't really build the lineup with it any longer.
It's a pretty sick Orchid game, so you could see a Quap being effective. I think Storm's a possibility.
Storm is, I actually think they will pick Storm for emo right now. I think that's their next.
You have an Omni Knight
hero too,
It's very good too, absolutely.
Because it's just finding this Wyvern, right? That's going to be the key. Someone in the crowd just yelled out Leshrac. I already said that, but thanks. I'm glad you were listening.
All right, so you talk about the Shadow.
Meepo. I think that's a pretty bad suggestion. Thank you for the feedback, though.
You're not kidding, Rich. This is Twitch chat.
Oh, yeah, no. This is all I do. Isn't that enjoyable? You just listen what they say. So you say with the Shadow Shaman that ultimately you're going to have players incredibly comfortable on it, but what else does it provide? You mentioned different things like catch.
I mean, tower push by itself, right? You just lay down the wards, you can take a tower, they go with the Slark. You've got 2 forms of lockdown, and you've got wave clear. You actually have 3 of the best things in Dota on that one hero.
I'm not sure I'm feeling the Slark after that last game. You're playing against, like, you get Wyvern ulted and
there's no double Enigma ulti, though.
Sure. You're playing against Timber. Slark is not good against Timber, so I know that the root is nice, but we'll see.
You're saying it's not good? Fog, the last game said it was amazing. So who should we believe?
It depends what kind of fight
also,
it is.
when we got to this tournament, Kyle's stock in Slark was about as high as it could be. Has it dwindled a little bit, or is it just this particular lineup?
I just don't know. I think it might just be... We'll see how the game ends up playing out. I just think that it doesn't really fit with what I had hoped IG would be doing, which is aiming for more, ending the game around like 20, 25 minutes.
I think just to finish off in tiebreaker, this Slark against Timber thing, I think Slark against Timber is really good in longer fights where it's not about the burst. But if Timber is part of a burst combo like it was in the last game, I think he can definitely deal with the Slark. The issue here for the Slark is that that burst exists. There is an OD ulti that can really trap you here. If this OD was another hero, I would feel way better about the Slark pick, but you need to find the right balance. Maybe you have to go BKB 1 item earlier than you would usually want to. There's also overgrowth and...
This was the matchup that they played opposite way around, right? Arteezy was playing the Slark versus the OD, and it did not look good for that Slark. And there it is. You guys called it earlier.
Yep, Storm Slark. It's all about the map control. This makes sense now with the Slark because you're going to be able to take towers, and if you get map control, Slark really helps you not just utilize it, but maintain it, scouts out the wards. You've got ways to provide vision so that both these Storm Slarks can play aggressive. I like that EG can kind of plant themselves at towers with multiple heroes. Wyvern and Timber can just spam spells, hopefully keep those tier 1s alive. But it's real easy for IG to just make a rotation, drop roster wards, and claim an objective. Their last pick, you need an Artor hero, unless that's
is OD,
unless it's an off.
I mean, how is OD Storm the matchup? Just straight up 1v1.
I think it's OD favored, but throughout the game, Storm. You need Orchid at a point though. I don't know if he'll rush the Bloodstone anyway.
I don't know if I've seen Emo lose a lane with Storm, actually. I'm not sure I've seen him lose to anything. So I would hold my judgment on that. But I'm trying to think of an Arteezy hero that's good against these cores. The best thing that comes to mind is Void, but that's just like so all AoE team fight spells. You're very cooldown.
Void to me is like your typical EG hero that you end up just farming, getting picked off, and inevitably losing. I hope it's something a bit more active. I could see the Animage that someone's calling out in the crowd, but it's that same problem where I just want them to not put themselves... I want them to be able to contest IG by 15, 20 minutes. You don't want to go late game against Storm Slark. That's...
Okay.
I can dig it.
They're a bit low on lockdown overall now, EG. Like, they have these defensive lockdowns, but as far as aggressive plays, they don't seem to be too eager to make the first move with these heroes.
A lot of this game is going to be on Abed, on the OD. They have very limited catch, as you said. They're going to need to ensure that they maintain tower. They don't really have any tower push themselves either.
All right, well, we heard it from the panel. I'm getting word right now that we're just about ready to jump into this one. We're going to hop to a quick break, and when we return, we're going to get this series started.
Ladies and gentlemen, Evil Geniuses versus Invictus Gaming here to end the day, and a beautiful best of 3 I'm sure we're going to have ahead of us. I'm ODPixel, joined by Fog for this one. Fog, we've seen the drafts. What are you excited to see? I'm seeing some sort of new heroes, right? Some Shadow Shaman out of the blue. I've not seen a hero in a while.
That's the first one I'm pointing at. I mean, it's Kaka though, right? Kaka, when he wants the hero, he picks it for himself. Especially like we've seen it a couple times throughout this tournament as well. He's picked himself some line games, which ended up working out. This is an interesting one. It allows him to play. I agree with like what Kyle was saying. Like go for these towers, and you can make a lot of quick moves around the map, allowing your Slark and your Storm to just kind of pick and choose where they want to go, and the Shadow Shaman will be able to at least siege for them. While we look at EG sides, they don't really have great tower pushing. I guess like there's a weird way you can kind of say it is like sometimes these Timbers can act as a tower pusher because you cut the creep waves and stuff like that, but it's not the same. IG does have much better ways to do that. And EG, they'd go for a Razor as their last pick. Bit unorthodox.
Around this early start flight. Start the vision, they're going to start beating into Ollie here. Ollie's going to take quite a bit of damage between the two of them with that burn from Crit, the right clicks from Fly. Is it enough for first blood? It is! And he actually wastes a mango and a salve.
Ow. He's not going to have a mango for the laning phase now, maybe. Yeah, actually, they're going to get some bounty runes, so he'll get at least 1 or 2 mangoes when he goes back up there. But that's painful. Great move by EG, and looks like they're going to be running a pressure lane. They're going to be putting that Timbersaw bottom, hoping in a 1v1 versus that Omni Knight and the Razor just to shut down that Slark entirely. I like the setup by EG. Immediately, we see lane swaps, though. Fly heading toward bottom as the Slark. We see JT heading toward top. Not teleporting, though. These heroes are saving their TPs. Same thing with the Lich. You see, he's walking all the way back from base on Ollie, making sure that they can swap lanes if EG does do so.
And this mid lane matchup, you know, Emo Storm versus the Arbed OD. As I believe Sim was saying on the panel, you know, Emo, he's been winning a lot of lanes, especially on this hero. Is this going to be another matchup where the Storm should come out ahead?
Oh yeah, it's probably like a slightly OD favored matchup, but Storm farms. The thing is that you can always force the wave in, you go jungle, and I mean, it's Emo. This is his favorite hero, it seems like, and he's been rocking it. But if anything, I'm not even too sure if it is even an OD favorite. It might even just be a straight 50-50 or just a skill-based matchup. This is one of those that really just becomes in the whoever's hands it's in.
We'll see what Kaka is able to do here down bottom, backing up Fly. There's going to be a lot of harass from the two heroes. You know, Crit and Ramses will have good spam to throw out at the two of them once they get that second level. Which means that Fly will have to be just that little bit careful. But at the same time, if EG get too over-aggressive, Kaka's going to have the lockdown to allow Fly to turn and start punching down these tanky heroes in the safe lane.
You know what the scary thing I actually look at and I'm going to point out is there's no way to stop the shackles in laning phase on their heroes. Nobody. So if he does get a good positioning where he can just grab somebody, like you're mentioning, that Slark is really going to build up the sacks and just be able to chase them out quite far. Wyvern, not going to be able to do anything about that.
I mean, even sort of down the road, you look at IG's cores, and obviously this Slark and Storm, two incredibly slippery heroes. Do you think EG are going to have enough grab in the mid game in those fights? Do you consider like the Treant and Wyvern ult good enough to deal with these two mobile cores?
They're gonna have to make it. They're gonna have to make those moves real clean. That's why they went for this draft, right? They went for these very elusive heroes because there is that limited amount of lockdown on EG. So we'll see if they can actually look to that. They might even itemize later on. We did see what the Hex on the OD eventually will come on way later down, but that is one of the solutions that we did see, especially I guess yesterday it was.
And would you consider some sort of control in Arteezy's build? Like, is he going to buy an Atos on this Razor, or does he have to look sort of more to a bigger, later, hard carry build?
Not a fan of Atos Razor, personally. I don't think it's a very Arteezy-esque kind of thing either. I think like the Eul sometimes can show its benefit. That still could be an option for him, but in this game, I don't think that he would go for anything like an Atos.
Up top, Kaka is here. They have got the three of them. They're going to go with the shackles. See if Ramses is able to get out of this one. Doesn't have any points in the Timber Chain, of course, yet, and that means there is no escape for him. IG make the move, bringing the Slark and Shaman up to that top lane to follow Ramses and get that kill.
Constant lane swaps, that's probably what we're going to be seeing, like we were mentioning. They want to have Slark versus Timbersaw, they want to have Omni Knight. Even though it's not a great matchup versus a Razor, that's just what you're going to have to accept to do. You're going to have to just sacrifice JT. And your win condition is definitely Fly and Emo, and you're okay with your Omni Knight getting shut down a little bit. He'll still get levels, so he just won't get any farm down bottom. And he's already got off to a good start, getting level 3 right away.
Mid lane. EG onto Emo. Getting slowed and surrounded. And he's going to go down. And Crit comes in to make sure that Abed starts to get a bit of a lead in that lane. A lane that he was already starting to climb ahead in 20-6 against the 16 for 3. And that kill's certainly going to help keep Abed in the stronger position in that matchup.
I like that move a lot from Crit. He's even going to go back and even start stacking some cats. Just nice little transition move. When you hit 2 on Wyvern, you can set up kills in quite a lot of lanes with that double amount of slow. Kaka's going to seem to just follow him around, though. He did see him grab an invis room top. Ramses, nice chain across.
Yeah, a little harder to lock down now. He's got the point in the chain. Pretty much going to require Kaka to be around for them to have control after the pounce to kill the Timber at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if Ali's actually going to go for like a level 4 point in Sinister Gaze just because of that. And it probably is the case as Fly.
Takes a lot of damage. Does have the pounce. He's ticking down a little bit. Crit. Is he going to... Ooh! Crit nearly finding the slot, but Fly will get away. A salve is there ready for him. But I mean, Crit's aggression, we're seeing him. He's making all the plays right now, exactly what EG need in this early game. He's keeping these lanes in a strong position and keeping IG on their toes. They've got to be ready and reading the movements of Crit because he's bloodthirsty.
Yep. Top Ramses getting gone on again. They can't actually get in range of the shackles. It was very close to him just getting grabbed again there. Runes coming out, Kaka versus Crit. He's going to hold Crit in place for a second, but Crit will be able to get that rune. Now, can they actually set up for a kill here? Do they have the burst? They do. Just at the last second there.
Yeah, it looked like they weren't going to, but I guess you can't underestimate how hard those right clicks of the Shaman do hurt. He's got good base damage and was enough to get that kill before the TP out was successful. But good attempt for Crit, and as you say, he gets the job done. Bounty rune is his.
Yeah, what is it? 2 for 2 it looked like? Yeah. 2 for 2 bounty rune because of that. Emo now off to jungle. As we kind of expected, this is what he'll do versus an OD. He got ganked, so he'll just sit there, get his level 6, and then he's going to be a bit safer. But he probably will just continue to jungle, give that lane to one of the supports.
Yeah, Kaka's coming towards the mid to try and get his XP towards that 6 as quickly as he can.
Yep, and we see JT. We mentioned how he wouldn't have a great time down bottom. He hasn't really gotten almost any last hits since we did mention that, but he's now just starting to cut some creep waves so he can ensure that he can get at least that experience.
Yeah, we've seen this situation before in the previous series. You know, as an Omni, you don't want to turn up to the lane against the Razor, especially once Razor's had that sort of a start. You got to pull, you got to play away from him. There's nothing you can do in that matchup.
Ramsey's already hitting level 6 here. Fly is just going to get bullied now. 37 and 6 last hits as well. This is an excellent start here for EG.
Quite the XP difference. So just level 4 on Slark. It's a fair bit of time before Fly's going to hit that Shadow Dance and have the capability to appear in the lane and back up and heal up. The pressure is certainly being put onto that Slark very early on by EG, and this tower, there's going to be no attempt from IG to hold onto it. They're going to let it go. 6 minutes in, it's poor old Slark, he's losing his safe lane.
Yeah, this is what we mentioned. It's like they don't really have the best tower pushers on EG, but this is what happens when you have Timbersaw early game. He's just going to be able to cut the creep wave and tank it up, ensure that you can get that one early. Now Fly, they're just still really low level. So Ramses, I think he's just going to stick up here. He has a triple range creep behind him as well. They're going to have to address this, man.
Yeah, he's just going to push on.
Yeah, he might as well.
Tries to step forward, but he's got to be so careful against these two with how powerful Ramses is. You see the net worth out of all 3 lanes, EG with their moves, they've kept themselves a step ahead of IG, and they've come out of these lanes in a very, very good position.
Yeah, now they can even throw living armor on this Timbersaw too, so even though he doesn't have the initial reactive stacks, he'll build them up quickly because of that. They have to make moves to stop this Ramses.
There's an extra TP coming in. Kaka's trying to offer up the lockdown. The Shackle's there as well. Is it enough to kill off the Timber? Pull back as well. The Sinister Gaze, they've got the nuke. Wow. Kaka gets the kill. As he's going to see if he can chase him for more. Splinter Blast does bring Fly low. Fly, he's got the backup of Emo. Zips in from the high ground. They get themselves a second. IG able to make the move and push EG finally off that top lane.
I'm actually surprised they were able to bring him down just between the 3 of them there. That was pretty surprising. A nice little rotation from Emo there too. That's the thing you do have to worry about though. It's like the Storm, you know he's jungling. So if you are pushing too far ahead in your advantage of that versus that tier 2 top, you will get rotated on.
Ramses is going to move over to the mid. Obviously going for that tier 2 and trying to push up was a little greedy. Obviously the clearer objectives are these tier 1s that do remain. Mid lane is going to be the juicy one that EG is going to have the pressure and focus around right now with Ramses pushing in, having Crit behind him if he does get in any sort of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been feeling himself. Like, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, he's got this huge creep advantage coming in. He wants to go try to pressure that tier 2 top, but maybe just underestimating a little bit of that burst damage that can come out from a Shadow Shaman and a Lich.
Just playing the passive farm game for Emo and Fly. These 2 cores not nearly ready to to have an impact unless we see, once again, EG go a little too deep, a little too far alone.
He actually gets one of my favorite items, actually, for a tree, for a Storm Spirit. He gets the mango tree. Really nice for you to just sit in the jungle and farm even more. So we'll probably be seeing them constantly set up and grab extra mangoes, especially for Emo. And he puts it in a very defensive position so he can ensure that he does keep it alive for a very long time. And yeah, like you said, Ramses just really wants to stick it, take out that tower so they can get those access points into the enemy jungle versus a Storm and a Slark who are catching up. They have to do these catch-up methods for IG.
I mean, they're trying to catch up, but you are going to see EG remain at this lead because with the way that the game has started, EG can afford to have their 3 cores in the 3 lanes, whereas IG, a lot of sort of fly and Storm's time is being spent in the jungle. Now Emo reveals himself mid, he's going to go for it. The Cold Embrace is healing Ramses up. IG, do they have any further control to kill him? They're going to look to go for the easier target. Go for Crit. Crit, finally for all the
Nice Astral.
He just walks in out of nowhere, drops the sanities, gets the kills, and saves Crit.
And he was just jungling. He actually stopped it. I love this about like Abed sometimes. And a lot of mid players, they're very aggressive, but he actually was jungling right next to his team. And look, he stops finishing. Like a lot of players would just finish the camp. But no, he actually makes the move over, saves Crit, and gets these kills because he makes that decision.
Perfect move from Abed. Crit, he was about to die that last hit. The Astral, and then bam. Abed, I mean, you said it. His movement could not have been any better there.
Now, if he hesitates at all, if he finishes that camp, Crit dies, and they might just back up and he misses those kills.
He doesn't get the kills then.
And the creeps are still low, so you know some players, they would have been very greedy to make sure that they could farm that camp.
And Abed's game, I mean, already you see the net worth he's at. He's nearly 2K ahead of any of the cores of IG. Down bottom, they're going to make an attempt onto Arteezy. They have the Hex, but again, Crit's in position with the Cold Embrace. Extra TP's coming in from EG. IG, they can't get the kill in time. And Emo, he's committed all of his mana for this, so he has no escape. Ramses cuts him down. Kaka and JT will be forced back as they Timber Chain forward. Ramses still wanting to go in. He knows how strong he is right now as IG. They've just got to run, but Ollie can't escape. It's a double kill for Ramses. Fly's trying to stay on top of Kaka. They're going to keep chasing this one for sure. JT can offer some sort of heal. He comes too close, though. The Splinter Blast bounces back across to Kaka. The slow for the ground. The curse as well. Crit setting up to get in another blast. Crit gets the kill. As EG, they know that they've got this lead and they're pushing their advantage to perfection.
They're crushing this early game. Their rotations are absolutely on point. I mean, Crit seems to be everywhere. He shows up every single time, right at the right time to get a Cold Embrace to save and turn a fight that looks like it could be going for IG. This is just, I mean, perfect so far. This first 12 minutes couldn't be going better for EG. 5K gold lead, all 3 tier 1s going to be taken down versus a Slark and a Storm Spirit. These 2 heroes, they want to go back to jungle, but that's going to get a lot harder with EG being able to just invade, get some deep aggressive wards down.
And the catch and setup's going to be even better. It is, as you mentioned, Arteezy going for that Yule's build-up on his Razor. And especially when you get such a quick Yule's, there's just going to be very little counterplays for IG. There's so much catch, and as soon as you lose one hero in a team fight, as we saw there, IG, you've just got to get out. You cannot afford to try and fight because EG is going to be able to pick you off one by one.
Yeah, I really like the Yules this game just because, like, we look at their lineup and we mentioned it. The limited lockdown is there. This isn't like a stun or anything like that, but someone can't just TP right in front of you then. And also you don't have to worry about like Shadow Shaman shackling someone next to you. You're going to have multiple ways of even being able to disrupt that and set up. And it's a natural build-up for Razor a lot of the times too. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of just recovery method for IG to try to fix and salvage this disastrous early game. And they're not able to really set up and go for any towers, but now top, Abed actually used an aggressive Astral. They're trying to set up on it, but he gets the Force Staff off.
They've got the lockdown. There's TPs coming in though. They have nowhere near enough damage to kill off Abed, even with the wards dropped. They're just going to farm them up. As you got to remember, that's a lot of money that does get given up to EG.
And that's also, it's not just money, it's now Rasta, now Shadow Shaman can't actually set up to push a tower. That's pretty huge. A wasted first wards.
They're looking to make a go onto Ramsey, but they just can't really do it. Living Armor's there. This is not a target you're going to be able to kill with the hood, the headdress. He has so much regen and resistance. There's just nowhere near enough damage on IG's heroes to deal with this Timber at this point.
No. This is, I mean, everything is going the right way for EG, and we're already seeing them start to queue up those items you mentioned. The Hex is already queued up for OD. He's going to be very farmed, and JT.
He cannot escape this.
Nope.
He cannot TP, he cannot hide. EG just owning the map. And IG, they need time that I don't think EG's going to give them. Their Storm and Slark are not ready to get involved.
And again, look at this, an instant smoke. There, no hesitation. They didn't have to like burn anything in order to go for that kill. They still have all of their ultimates available. And there's a level 13 OD at this point in the game. He can really, 1600 mana, level 2 ulti. Couple hits, get that counter up. You can easily look to blow up pretty much any of the heroes on the side of IG. As Ramsey's just going to continue pushing, keep pressing forward that advantage. They have this early drafted early game heroes, so they want to just press their advantage and push forward. Do not let Storm farm up. Do not let them actually abuse the Heavenly Grace Slark that will eventually get very powerful. Just end the game before that.
No, I mean, they know that they do not have to worry about the Slark doing anything until FlyFly has his defusal.
Yeah.
He has to have at least that done, otherwise he poses no threat whatsoever in the fights. Emo is going to show mid, going for the courier. Will not be able to zip far enough to get it. Still, they're going to push him back and away from this mid lane, and now on the top, FlyFly will have the Shadow Dance TP, and there's no counterplay to that, so FlyFly does manage to get out of there. They cannot afford to lose this Slark or Storm. They have to play so safely if IG want a chance to swing in this game back round.
Yep. Look where Emo's farming. He's farming on the opposing side. He got kind of forced over here, but this kind of says the state of the game. They have no intention, and they can't have an intention of fighting for quite a long time. They're so shut down on their cores. Their support's kind of same thing. It's a Lich and a Shadow Shaman versus such tanky heroes. And they already have a pipe finished up on Ramses.
They're going to go for this. He's pretty low on the mana, so a few hits during the overgrowth. He's going to go for the pull to make sure Abed can't instantly drop down the ult. And but they zipped into danger. Ramses and Artesia there.
But he saw them. It was a panic zip.
Apparently he didn't see them. I mean, it's straight into the two of them. Oh no! Crit. I mean, they'll get him. I mean, will they? He's got Cold Embrace and a stick charge. TPs are coming in. Ahmed's around. Ahmed's still got the ult ready to go. He pops it down. FlyFly Kaka have to back away. Crimp will live. FlyFly finally does still get the kill, but it costs him his life. It's a double kill for Abed. IG can just not catch a break.
No, EG's just going to go high ground here. With this pipe on this Timbersaw, they're going to spam out the Chain Frost. It's going to slow them down a little bit here. RPZ going to beat it a little bit longer. But IG, how do you stop this? It doesn't feel like they have a great solution to be able to. They spot out an Arcane Rune bottom for Emo. Maybe he can work some type of magic with this, but they're really going to need something miraculous to bring them back in this game. As EG, they're just not going to slow down with this type of draft they have. With a Razor with an OD draft, they're going to just keep pushing forward.
That's a big zip down bottom. He's with that Arcane. He's still got some mana to play with, but EG, they're going to be on top of him. He's got to get out. Zip straight up the lane. They will back off. EG can now move down here, start to work on another tier 2 tower. And as we've seen already, IG, they're not going to be able to fight around this. They've got to let these tier 2 towers go.
I mean, this Timbersaw is just such a problem. Look at this, 50 HP per second. He can even get Living Armored. He has Cold Embrace behind him. IG definitely in a very rough spot. All of EG's towers are just also getting healed up too, so there was a little bit of damage that IG was able to get on them, but tier 1's all full healed, and they're taking tier 2s.
And there's the classic sign that things have gone horribly wrong. JT, he's queuing up a Midas.
Oh no, an item that we do not see. Not even on Arc Warden. This item is dead. You can tell that they're feeling like this one is pretty out of hand right now, as EG continue to knock on the front door. They at least have they have the Frost Armor from the Lich to slow it down, that Frost Shield, but EG just has so much claimed on the map. They just want to look to make aggressive moves. They see Emo. They want to try to go on him here in the mid lane.
Can they get the jump lead? It's very hard. They're going to lead in. They do have the overgrowth. Do they have the damage to kill him off through it? He's going to be able to juke it out. Nice dodge from Emo.
It's actually really nice how he zips the direction that he's facing. Because if he actually turns to zip backwards, he would get caught inside of that overgrowth. Very nice play by the Storm, but either way, you still feel it. EG just constantly looking to make these moves. And Emo's just trying his best to control some runes. But he's got to be very careful. One misstep and he could die.
What else have they got? They haven't got a Sanities. He's still got mana. They have the Yules. He's still got 500 mana to play with, so will zip himself away from Abed, and with the TP, Emo is fine. Despite the lead of EG, still definitely seeing the lack of lockdown in place there. They can't reliably kill the Storm, but obviously they can push in the lanes and force him to react to them rather than having to chase him blindly around the map.
Opportunity for top, maybe. Kaka, he's tempted. Still hiding inside of the trees there. He's not going to actually drop the wards. Doesn't even want to try to.
And FlyFly wants to go for Arteezy here. Arteezy with the defensive duels. Make sure the FlyFly cannot commit. FlyFly is able to back off, break the link. He's still sort of moving towards them, but it is only him and Ollie, so not really a lot that they can do alone. They need another item. They're going to try and make a move. They're smoking up the three of them, IG. Seeing if they can catch EG off whilst they're slightly separated. Arbed is top. They'll find Crit. Hex into the nuke damage. Crit's gone. Can IG get something else out of this? They're chasing towards Artur. Arteezy just a little too speedy. Slark cannot close the gap, but IG can get over, take some farm away from EG's half of the map.
Like how they make that aggressive move. They get that deep ward up top side near the tier 1 tower, and that actually gives them the information. They saw a couple of EG's heroes running toward that tower to respond, and that's when they just instantly smoke and try to get out to be able to just get themselves some type of space on the map, because their map has been super limited. They have to take these risky type of smokes, and they will be able to set up here on this tier 1, but EG, they've got people that come and fly.
Oh.
Oop, he got spotted.
He is, and he's going to get zipped on. Emo, he's caught him. Fly will pay for revealing himself on this bottom lane. IG get the kill, and with that should easily get the tier 1. They're losing a tier 2 for it, though.
That was some big brains positioning, though, by FlyFly. He knew that this tree protector was going to come along the tree line to look for that. That was really nice heads-up play there. But it's a tier 2 for a tier 1, and we do see, Kaka. Kaka actually found himself an ancient stack, it seems, and he's just trying to be efficient. He's just trying to use those wards on cooldown, get as much gold as he can.
Desperate.
Sure.
Yeah, desperate times certainly calls for desperate measures, and between the Serpent Ward ancient farming and the Midas Omni, they're certainly going for that IG.
Yeah, they're starting to trickle down. They know that their draft, if they make it to late game and they aren't just like 30,000 or some ridiculous amount of gold, I mean 30,000 maybe excessive, but like 15,000 or something behind, if it's a relatively even game and they make it to later stages, their draft is very strong versus what EG has. But EG, they're not going to look to let it get to that point.
No, and it's just some of these timings will be ridiculous this game. Arbed,
it's kind of Hex.
He's getting so close to having the Hex, and we're only 21 minutes into the game. Roche, no contest whatsoever from IG. Doesn't even matter if they know that it's going on. They know that they cannot fight around the Roche pit with the lead that EG have. And as Roshan will be theirs. Arbed grabs the Aegis. Just about 800 gold to go for his Hex to be complete.
IG did get some deep wards while they were making this pressure. We actually see Ollie still in the enemy jungle, trying to see if he can give some information for his team to look for some jumps. If they do see heroes too far away from others on the side lanes, they could look. And speaking of that,
Amo, he's going on Artur.
He's got a BKB on the Razor, though. That's a pretty tough one to go for.
And maybe just seeing if you could get away with poking it out of it. It won't be the case. Arteezy keeps his cool, knows that he's not under too much threat from those three heroes.
Wait for that Hex, probably the next timing for EG before they group up and look for a play, because they do have BKB, they have Hex, going to be done pretty much at any moment now, and that's going to be a big timing for them. Storm, this game's going to get a lot more difficult, but they do at least have on IG that Heavenly Grace always behind. So there is going to be a way not only just to dispel, but also to make that Hex a lot shorter duration if he is Heavenly Grace before it does go out. And Emo's catching up. He does have a Bloodstone finished up, same thing for the Slark, FlyFly. He's going straight for that BKB after the defusal. So they're also getting some timings, but man, that is such an early Hex, and there it is.
There's the reveal. Waits out the Dark Pack, so there's no chance of purging that off. Arbed just slides in and makes quick work of FlyFly. And this is going to be the recurring situation. Anytime Arbed catches you alone, he will solo kill pretty much any hero in the game right now. And especially if he needs to use the Sanities, that alone with a few hits, that will take anybody off the map if JT's not behind to offer some sort of safety.
EG pushing up. This is a very easy, easy sustained push for them as Ramsey just stands there with a pipe, 60 HP per second.
I mean, what can they do to slow this? Emo, he's going to try and commit, goes in for the zip-in straight away onto Arbed. The Serpent Ward's dropped down as well. The turn, the Yule's Hex, a bit of an overcommitment there, throwing the two of them. Didn't matter either way. Heavenly Grace was upon him, so wouldn't have had the disable to kill him off.
Yeah, he's playing that like very risky kind of play where he's confident because of that Heavenly Grace, but the tower and Rex are falling very quickly as he gave 140 static link damage to Arteezy during that.
Fly tries to step in, steal some of the mana of Ramses, but anytime he goes forward, Abed will be quick to build charges off him, just turning him and hitting him with the orb. As the range racks are gone, the melee racks slowly, surely falling. There's nothing that IG can do to push EG off this racks. As EG, they can just continue to resume business with this lead and large advantage they have here 24 minutes in.
Yeah, don't back up. Just keep pushing forward. You don't have to worry about any of your side lanes because of how well you've done. Get some wards down here. Looks like they're going to actually go for the Shrine first. So no TPs around behind them. And we saw their positioning. The way that they're pushing is you have the 3 in the front, you have Ramses just tanking towers so he gets the stacks, and then the 2 supports on complete opposite sides, making sure that they can't actually get jumped by the Storm or the Slark. IG needs a lot more time in order to be able to take these fights versus EG at this moment. But EG, they're not going to give it to them. Arteezy already knocking on the tower.
And just showing himself on the front, see if there's going to be any commitment by Emo. You have Abed ready with the counterplay, so Emo can no longer really zip in and play aggressive unless he's disabling Abed's OD. Hex will come out each and every time. Ramsey standing deep under the tower, making sure that he's tanking all the hits up. They've got this easy push off the back of his sustain that he offers Emo. He's going to try for the zip and instantly gets Hex. Jump forward, the overgrowth. GA is there. Emo is fully low. Pops the Bloodstone heal. Abed heads over. Doesn't want to drop the Sanities next. Knows it won't do too much against the Storm with the amount of mana he has. They'll kill off Kaka. Fly pops the Shadow Dance, looks towards Arteezy, but they just cannot kill off any of EG's heroes. They're too strong right now. They'll use the fortification, but this tier 3 will shortly fall. Emo zips in, looks to get on top of Abed. He's healed up by the Cold Embrace. Abed gets dragged in. Can they kill off this Oni? They can. They kill him the once. The Aegis is gone. Serpent Ward's down as well, breaking up the fight. Can they go on Abed a second time? That's the question. He's back up to full HP. Ramsey steps back in, finishes off the tower. IG have to keep their distance.
I think they can be careful here now, just in case, just because they saw how much Emo actually can do in damage. They're going to give him a little bit of respect to back off. 12k gold lead, don't need to take too many risky type of plays here when you do already have that, Rax, taken in the mid lane and you got the tower. Go pick up your, spend your gold in particular. Bring out those items, but they can still look to stay aggressive on this side of the map. They don't need to back up all the way to their side. Stay on the IG side, limit them that farm. Wait for maybe the next wave to come in and when you are full healed up. And now they are full healed, so they will probably look to continue push top now.
Yeah, with the full, 2 halberds now on the side. 2 halberds and the Hex. They've got a lot of ways to stop both Emo and Fly doing anything in the fights.
How do you focus a target?
As there we have, one disarm into the Hex. Fly's in trouble. He popped the BKB in the Shadow Dance. They do manage to hold back the OD for now. Fly still staying alive.
He's pulling links.
Low on mana.
It's 220 damage for Arteezy right now.
A Frost Shield saving one of the racks at least, but EG just turned their attention towards the other. Emo zips in, looking for the control on Arteezy. The living armor healing Arteezy back up. As EG just remained pretty unfazed by this attempt from IG. They go in on the side. Hex is there. The Shaman is overgrowth. They're killed off. There's no BKB. There's no Shadow Dance for Fly as the Slark will fall. Still holding on to that Sanities. Abed has not needed to use it yet. Just the right clicks alone have been enough. Emo going in. There's the curse. He grabs the 4 of them. He's building up the mana. Abed, he's ready to drop it there. The Rampage comes in. GG is called. It's absolutely over. EG take this game 1, and it looks to be a walk in the park for them.
you can feel that one. He's just building up the stacks, waiting for the moment, and just drops the hammer. Beautifully executed by EG from start to finish.
It really couldn't have been any better by them. We've seen EG have some shaky games. This was not one of them. The draft, I guess it was excellent. They played it so well. The movements at the start, as you said, looking at the lanes, making sure they had the lead. Crit's movements, knowing exactly what he has to do to ensure that these carries on IG side, you have Fly and Emo, they just don't have a game to play. The Storm and Slark were shut down so early on. JC has to go for this late game, sort of hold your hands together and pray that you're going to get there with this Midas build-up. But they knew at that point it was never going to get there. EG's pressure was too much, and Abed's OD, it was just on another level.
It really was. It was just, from start to finish, like Crit, excellent rotations, and then also Ramsey's getting that early 6, I feel like was so devastating because he just went from lane to lane to lane, and they were just allowed to park him in front, take the towers, and then the rest of the heroes just looked even better because of that. yeah, they really just thwarted what I thought might be the Shadow Shaman looking to move from lane to lane to try to set up kills. They just weren't able to. EG was just way too prepared.
Yeah, they tried something different, as you said, with the Shaman pickup. The cores, it was hard for them to play. They're definitely going to have to switch things up in the drafting game too. I mean, looking at that, what do you think's got to go the most?
And I don't know if it's what has to go the most, but it's just how EG responded, right? Like there's an early Omni pick, and then there's an OD, a Razor, and even the Timbersaw. There's just so many different solutions for him. So maybe the Omni might get phased out a little bit. Even though we do love the Omni so much, EG just looked to just take advantage of it so easily.
Well, we'll see if EG can pull out another dominating performance in a row. That game one, pretty darn impressive. Or if IG's going to have some answers, don't go anywhere. We'll have game two after the break. As it stands, EG take the lead in this series, 1-0.